Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Here we are. We made it to Friday. Congratulations.
Happy Friday.
Happy freaking Friday.
How many Fridays have we done?
3.
This is our third Friday.
This is our third Friday.
Third Friday.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay.
I found our video. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share our video.
Awesome. Yay. Okay. Well, while you do, I am just going to put up some information. As you guys know, The Hustling Creative is dedicated to serving artists at all levels, physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever. So if you would like the assistance of a life coach as you navigate this crazy time, as I am definitely excited to get in touch with her today, our life coach in our staff, Raven Bonnewell, will be doing office hours right after this at 10 a.m. So right after this, grab your coffee, grab your dog, whatever you want, and we'll be doing life coaching.
Grab your dog.
Grab your dog.
Dogs. Oh, I love dogs so much.
And so I also had something else that I wanted to pass along to you all. So Jax and I are doing an event tonight called State of the Art, where I'm trying to find the link to it so that I can share it with you. So our event State of the Art tonight is a we're basically, as artists, kind of just diagnosing holistically what we think the effects of COVID-19 are going to be on our industry and what we should be doing about it. I have been really frustrated with all of the roundtable discussions that I've been to like this, because they're all talking about reacting and no one's talking about rebuilding. So that's what we're hoping to do tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you are watching us right now, you will be able to watch us tonight at 6. So bring some booze, because I certainly will, and we're going to have a nice little chat. This, because they're all talking about reacting, and no one's... Jax, do you have anything to add?
I'm really super pumped about it. Like, I'm so excited about it, because just like you said, everybody's talking about like reacting, and I'm like, I've been reacting. I've been steady reacting for 3 weeks now. And
right.
Now I'm ready to dive into like, great, this is it. This is what we're in. So
yeah.
let's make what we're in right now amazing. So we can look back eventually and be like, that we made some amazing art. We rocked it.
And I'm really excited too, because if normal is dying, like, I'm excited to watch some things burn. I'm excited to like kill some norms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So yes, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I just noticed as I'm sharing, it looks like our live video keeps getting interrupted, and I wonder if that's because there's a ton of activity on Facebook because it's 9 a.m. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. But
I checked the down detector right before this, and there didn't seem to be a problem. Let me check it again. Okay, it doesn't say that there are any problems with Facebook. If you're having trouble with Facebook, we're on YouTube right now as well, so go there. But we've also been having trouble with YouTube because they're getting so much traffic that they can't figure out which videos are inappropriate and which aren't. So they're accidentally marking some videos as inappropriate and taking them off the site.
So really inappropriate.
We're a little inappropriate, but it's okay.
Working out at 9 a.m. is inappropriate. It's rude.
Thoughtless.
It's inappropriate. I forgot to plug my laptop in, and I just got a warning that it's going to die. So.
All right, well, as you plug it in, I'm going to explain a little bit of what we're doing today. So as you all know, Fridays are usually our chill days. So we're going to focus the first half, or the first maybe third of the class, on technique. We're going to talk about the difference in technique in the punches that we learned between stage combat and between traditional boxing. And then after that, we are going to do some stretching, and then we're going to do our usual posture diagnosis. And yeah. Anything to add? right, as always, please feel free to type questions in the comments. I'm not wearing shoes because I don't freaking feel like it. So we won't need them if you don't want them.
Who cares about shoes? Who does shoes anymore?
Who wears bras anymore? Who uses razors anymore?
Who cares anymore?
Who cares anymore? All right, Jax, do you want to kick us off, and then maybe I'll just like interject with the differences or something?
I do.
Cool. Let's do it.
I do. Let's warm up. Let's warm up those phalanges. I'm gonna keep warming up your fingers. Let's move to wrist. There's a dehumidifier running. Can you hear that, Alex, in the background? My dehumidifier.
Only faintly, but I can hear you pretty well.
Okay, good. Then I'll leave it and go the other way with your wrists.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Elbows. Other way.
I like this format.
You too. All right, we're gonna do something slightly different. We're gonna go. Sorry. We're gonna go elbows, shoulders, arms. Is it? So elbows, shoulders, arms. Yeah, and we're gonna go backward. Cool. Here we go. Ready? Elbows, shoulders, arms. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Now we're gonna go forwards. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Elbows, shoulders, arms. Nice. And cross your arms in front of your chest. Make sure you're crossing above your chest, not down here. Down here doesn't do anything. Above your chest.
Yes.
Nice. Ooh, crackety, crack, crack, crack.
If anyone has never heard these terms before, a stretch like this is ballistic, and a stretch like this is static.
Yeah.
Ballistic is where you're moving to stretch, letting gravity and momentum do the work, and then static is stretch.
Right. And even in this stretch, I give myself just a little bit of a bounce.
Yeah, especially in the morning, especially first thing.
Right. Nice. Take it around town, SpongeBob.
If anyone has any other references, there have to be other places where people gyrate in a very exaggerated manner.
Go the other way.
I don't know, man.
We're doing big hip circles, but try to keep your head in the same place. It's not an isolation. We're not doing like dance isolations. You are moving all of this, but your head should stay relatively in the same place.
If you want to involve whoever you're quarantining with, just have them hold your head.
Yeah, just grab it.
Yeah.
We're just doing hip isolation, so we're going to move the right hip forward to back, and then the left hip forward to back. So we're doing like a figure 8 with our hips.
Nice.
Opening up these hips. Put the arms into it so you feel good.
Yeah, I feel like we could be on one of those terrible Zumbas from the 80s.
Yes!
Like, oh, you're feeling good tonight?
I'm Fosse.
I don't know. Yeah, or Fosse.
And then we're going to go backwards. Back. Wait, I just went forwards. Forwards.
Okay.
Forwards. Forwards.
See, okay. Yeah. I was struggling so much. I was like, how? What? I was like, I go backwards and forwards, I think.
Ankles. And ankles the other way. Make sure that you're coming to, if you can see my feet, make sure you're coming to all the way to the front of your foot, and you're not just like wiggling your foot around. From the big circles all the way around.
There's something that's so pleasing about your foot wiggling like that. You look like a little Muppet. Yeah.
Around and other way. Don't neglect your ankles, y'all. Ankles are so important. Good, and walk it out. You can't see me, but I'm doing Beyonce arms.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
What are even Beyonce arms?
I don't know. I don't think I do it right, but it's that song where she's like,
oh, those. Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
So I'm gonna do a warm up that's because we're gonna stretch a bit today. This is gonna involve some isolations. So we're gonna take this and get more of a full body shot. So we're gonna take our right arm and our right leg and we're gonna extend them. I'm gonna make a big circle to the side with my right arm as I kind of lean back and point my toe and bring my foot up. So I'm activating this whole line of my body to circle, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Circle. Yeah. So yeah. I'm reaching to lift to that corner of the room, pointing my toe to reach to that corner of the room, and circling my arm. Circle, circle.
It's very Martha Graham.
It's very. That's just something I used to do with our dance company.
Yeah.
I'll do the two circles. I'll go circle, circle, and then I'm gonna take the same opposite arm and bring it in the circle the opposite way, but I'm gonna contract as if you were being punched in the stomach in stage combat. So it's gonna be circle, circle, contract, back up, contract.
I love that.
So we'll do that a few times. So get ready.
Yeah.
And go. Circle, circle, contract, contract. Did I lose you?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. My screen just did a thing.
Okay.
Circle, circle, contract, contract, circle. The contraction is like you're swimming, like you're diving in the water. Dive, circle, circle, dive.
Cool.
Dive. One more time. Circle, circle.
Oh no.
Dive.
I don't know where I got off with you timing-wise, but I was off with you. Whatever.
That's fine.
It's fine. I don't care. I don't care.
Don't care. Open up your hips. Again, I'm going to move around in this position. I'm not just going to sit here and stretch. I'm going to move around so I'm opening up my hips. I'm going to move to the floor so you can see this next one. I'm going to take my left hand to my right foot. My back heel is going to come up off the ground and rotate. My right hand is actually pushing my leg out a little bit towards this back wall. And then I switch. Switch again. So I'm leaning over this front leg that is bent. Yeah, and back and forth. Stay nice and low. Nice. Awesome. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. Okay, so as we said, today we want to break down the difference in punches between what we've been learning, which is traditional stage combat, and really just looking at them from the perspective of also boxing and mayhaps a little bit applicable life-wise. Probably not. I don't want to make that assertion because neither of us are qualified for that. Yeah.
We're qualified in a lot of things.
All right, so we're going to just break down the difference in each of the punches and then just give you guys like 2 minutes to play around with it yourselves. Something like that. Yeah, do you want to start with the jabs?
Let's start with this jab. So just like we've been talking about for a few days, I'm going to start my jab is going to be with my leading fist, which is also my leading leg, the leg that is in front. Yeah? Hands at my face. As I extend that jab, I'm going to let my back shoulder kind of turn out, right, and extend that arm. This jab is not going to stay there. It's going to pop back. And I'm going to exhale on the punch. As I do that, I'm going to take a tiny little step with my front foot. It's almost as if I just kind of turn this so you can see my feet. This is the step that I'm talking about. It's going to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like a little bit of a rotational step even.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our jab. My back foot stays in place.
Yeah.
In stage combat, Alex is going to talk about in boxing how you jab to get some distance. You're not going to change your distance a lot during a move, not unless it's choreographed. A jab is something that if I am a safe distance away from my partner, meaning if I can reach out and not touch them, then I can go ahead and throw some of these jabs, and my partner can react off of them, but I'm not in any danger of hitting them. Where if I were to go ahead and move with it, I might run my fist right into my partner's face.
Right.
It's not what we're doing in theater.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's really the only difference. That's the main difference that I would point out with the jab, is that, like, with stage combat, I think that a lot of the perception of movement happens because you're moving the shoulders. Because you're having this rotation, then on a stage, it's going to look like you're actually covering some ground. Whereas the purpose of a jab is to back someone into a freaking corner. Like, you're not going to get anywhere in boxing if you're giving them that. So that's why you're covering more distance with this front foot. You're really extending just to get them out of your face. And usually this is followed through with your feet. So it's not like we wouldn't like in a ring just do this then come back. There's unless like, you know, unless you're forced to, unless you're dodging. The other thing that I would point out is that with a jab in stage combat, part of the reason that you're doing this camera movement is you're telling the story. You're telling the story of the jab in a way that everyone can see it. Whereas you're not necessarily like the goal in boxing is always to keep your hands as close to you for as long as you possibly can. So if I'm doing this, I'm losing time. So instead, I'm just going for that. I'm going for whatever will get me out there, quickest, and closest to my body quickest. I will also say though that one of the things that is the same is you are going to have this rotation in your arm. You're always going to bring it, I guess, to what is this technically, like pronation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always
the superhero pose.
Yes, because you still want to make your contact around this area, and the fist will stay the same. You'll be wearing gloves. I mean, if you wanted, sometime we could like talk about wrapping, but we don't have to. Yeah, that's like something that anyone is interested in. I hate
nope.
Side. But if that's something that the public wants, then we can do it. Yeah. Jabs.
I just had a thought, since this is a technique-based day, if you want to keep going and practicing these techniques as we are talking to you, keep on moving. Don't stop.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Great. So that's the jab. So let's talk about our cross.
Totally.
So our cross is going to come from the opposite foot. So if the jab comes from this first foot, the cross is coming from this back leg, which is also this back fist, right? And now for stage combat, what we're going to do is you're not going to go, never mind, forget what I said.
Okay.
This fist is going to go instead of straight out like our jab does, it's going to go out on an angle. So if I'm here, it starts here, it ends there. Yeah, and it's going to go across wherever our opponent is, our partner. It's going to go across right around their jawline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have jab and this cross. Once we finish this cross, we can let this hand kind of drop down. It's important in stage combat to make sure we extend this arm all the way before dropping it down and pulling it back. If I don't extend it all the way, the audience is only going to see half of the story because there's a body in front of me. This body that I'm punching, my fist needs to end up on the other side of them for them to understand what they just saw, right? If it doesn't, bam, then they're not going to really get the picture, or it's going to look weird.
Yeah.
Also, what I'm doing with my lower half is I'm drilling my weight and my body into the ground deep. I'll turn the camera so you can see my feet again. Like I'm squishing above, drilling. We're doing what's that guy? He's famous. Rock and roll. Elvis. My brain is mushy today. We're going to drill our weight into the ground because that's going to give us our power. Alex also talked about taking this this opposite hip, this hip that was forward, and pulling it back. Not pulling our butt back. What? But pulling the hip back.
Yeah, I mean, so I was thinking about this too. So the way that I think about that, the way that I think about bringing that hip back is like if you had a sword and you were blocking your side. Like if you had the sword and someone were coming at you from the side, you'd get that hip out of the way as you bring your sword down to block. So I think of it as that same movement. It's not like necessarily pushing out because that isn't going to like get you out of your opponent's way. It's more just like a natural retract.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
If you're coming from the stage combat world, like that's more what I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the difference between the cross again is kind of like bringing it back in. So as we said, we're telling the story that this is a cross, not a jab. When we bring it back around this way, but again, we're really just trying to come back to our center in boxing as quickly as possible. So really, like the cross is going to stay the same, but you're just going to, just like the jab, just snap it back in place. So for me, I actually I feel like I'm working with enough power that like my body naturally goes back to where it was. So so my body still does that extension and that rotation, but then because I'm driving the cross forward, when I snap it back, the rest of my body just kind of follows suit, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, nice. So we've got our jab, our cross, jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, jab, cross, jab, jab, cross, and switch legs. And it's the same thing on these, same thing, a different side. Jab, cross, jab, jab, cross. Make sure you're sinking into the earth as you do this. Jab, jab, cross. Jab, jab, cross. Yeah, your jab is your attention getter. Your cross is your power punch, right? Your jab, you're going to surprise them. You're going to check your distance. You're going to put them where you want them to be. Your cross is going to knock them out.
Totally.
So think of it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys can't see, Jax is kind of demonstrating the stage combat version, and I'm demonstrating the boxing version.
Sweet.
Yeah. I haven't really noticed any differences in the hooks, really.
You haven't, not really, and yeah. which is saying something because I have less of a martial experience with hooks than I have with really a lot of the other ones. These hooks in theater, they're very, very much for show. They're very, very much big moves. Obviously, there's exceptions to that. Obviously, we're gonna keep some hooks and some shows small if you're doing a boxing show or somebody that really knows how to fight. But that's something to keep in mind is, does your character know how to fight? Does your character not know how to fight? Is your character trained? Yeah. Is your character not trained? Does your character want to fight? Does your character not want to fight? So these things are all going to influence the way that you do these moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say too that hooks to me seem like the most, if you're thinking about it from a character perspective, they seem like the most technical out of the punches, because I think that like a jab and a cross, even if you do it wrong, that's something that any drunk person, that's what they're instinctively going to do if they're told to fight. An uppercut can very much be a bailout move, like you don't know what else to do, so here I go, just ram into this guy. Whereas a hook, I believe, leaves you the most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves your body the most vulnerable because in order to execute it, you need to open yourself up more than the other punches.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Because with the other punches, your fist is right here. You're still, even when I'm extended, I'm blocked, right? I can go over there really quick. But for a roundhouse or for a hook, you've got to come out, right? You've got to create that circle. And while in boxing, it's my understanding that these hooks are really small and kind of tight into your body. In combat, a lot of times we'll use them as almost desperation throws, right? So you can extend your arm wide out there. These hooks can be wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or really, really wild.
Yeah.
So you do them, again, you want to pivot and you want to use this forward leg to turn on. This hook, it comes from your hips. It comes from this swinging motion.
Mhm.
If you swing your torso around, let your arms just kind of flail, they're going to go with your hips.
Mhm.
And the more you jerk your hips around, the more they'll flail, and vice versa.
Yeah, and the more you're jerking around, the more desperate or reckless your character probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So really, I mean, the only difference I see in hooks between our disciplines is that it's just scale. So like in stage combat, where you're telling the story of a massive hook like that, that's not the most efficient thing to do. It's going to be more powerful if you keep it close to your body. If you just try that for a sec, there's a massive difference that you can feel in your body. Like this feels so powerful, and this feels so empowering. My body really likes doing this. Whereas this, I clearly feel like I'm demonstrating something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, how is your hand position on these hooks in boxing?
Honestly, the same. Yeah. Yeah, just smaller because you're still going for the same target area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're like in this pronation.
Exactly.
It's important when you're throwing punches to make sure that your fist is stacked, which means it's supported by your elbow. There should be a straight line from this fist. I keep hitting myself on my beautiful engagement ring. There should be a straight line from this fist all the way to this elbow. If you find that you have a little bit of like tweaking in this elbow, like if there's a bend, then your fist is going to get pushed off to the side in a way that's not going to be fun for you.
Yeah.
You really want to.
Yeah, and if you're wearing wraps and if you're wearing gloves, that will also kind of help reinforce that, but you don't want to be dependent on that.
Yeah, because again, punching with these are your strong knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
These are your party knuckles.
Yeah. If you just, I mean, I think that you can also just kind of feel the difference if you just give a light punch to your hand. Like you can just kind of feel where it's supposed to go because that's just where it naturally wants to be.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Those weren't English words. You know what I mean.
Words.
So honestly, I feel like the biggest difference is the uppercut. Yeah, because with stage combat, we've talked about how when you're doing an uppercut, you're telling the story. I'll let you take it, Jax.
Sure. When I'm doing uppercut, I'm typically my partner is gonna be in front of me, right? Because if I do this uppercut, if they're not in front of me, I'm going to have to turn my body in a weird way. Whether they're in front of me and we're facing downstage or we're facing to the side, either way, I really want to make sure that I extend this arm up. Because again, if you only extend halfway, you're really only telling the audience half of the story. And there's something to be said for energy distribution. My brain! Energy distribution. The audience is going to follow the path of the energy, meaning that if my fist just stops, the audience is going to stop. They're going to look here. But I want them to continue. I want them to follow with their eyes the rest of the story, which is this person that I'm hitting now falling backwards, up and back, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to continue that energy, that line with my arm. Bam! All the way up. So they're going to follow what's moving. But if I just stop, then they're going to stop. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. This also has to do, I think, the biggest difference is really your target. Because if you're doing an uppercut in boxing, usually that's where like the classic situation I'm imagining is like if someone is backing you into a wall, or you're backing someone else into a wall, and you're really close to them body wise. The only punch you really have the space to get in is this uppercut. And so you're not going for the face, you're going for the vital organs, you're going for this area. But I will echo what you're saying, Jax, because like I think that even if you're in this situation, you're still like you're probably hunched over, you're very defensive, whether you are defending or offending, because you're very close in proximity. And you're just wailing this way. You're going for this area. But I will echo what you said, Jax, because you also wouldn't do this because nothing valuable lives here in your opponent. No matter what kind of punch you're throwing, even though this is where your shoulders live and this is where it's comfortable to throw a punch, nothing valuable lives here. So you're either going for that or you're going for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in between. It's not in between. See what I mean?
That's great. And I will clarify that you absolutely can uppercut to any other target, like the stomach, in stage combat, 100%. I'm not saying it always has to go straight up. For our purposes for this drill, I like to bring it straight up because then you really experience the full movement. And then once you can do this, then you can bring this down to any other target you want.
Yeah.
The idea of that body control.
Yeah. And I think too that you'll see if you go to a boxing class, you'll see that like speed drills mostly happen with uppercuts. Like that's where you'll get those kind of drills because that is the movement. The movement is that you're doing this very close to the body, and yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let's just like play around with this on our own for about a minute, and then we can move into some more stretching and stuff.
I love it.
All right, I'm setting the timer, and as we demonstrate, I mean, as usual, Jax will be demonstrating the stage combat version. I'll be demonstrating the boxing version, and let's just go for a minute. Starting now.
Great. And remember how yesterday we practiced really focusing on each of these punches? But also, if you were here yesterday, if you want to add a little bob and weave and change where your opponent is, do that.
Totally. I hope too that it's clear that like no matter what Jax and I are doing, all the power is kind of coming from the hips, coming from the ground.
Yeah, everything comes up your body. Think about sending that energy forward. Keep your elbows in. Let the little things flail out like this. Knees bent. Don't be up here. Knees bent.
And we're done.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. I mean, it went by real fast.
It went by so fast. Do you guys, as always, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. If you want to see something specific, pop that in the comments. This is this is a laid back day. This is a low key Friday. We've had a rough week. Yeah.
As have you, I'm sure. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do some stretching. So as I'm going to give this disclaimer every time because there are so many places to watch yoga out there and so many wonderful people who do yoga. So if you want a true yoga practice, go there. We aren't yogis. We're not yogis, but we're professionals at listening to our body, figuring out what it wants, connecting to our breath. So, I mean, for me, I think that these exercises, when we do yoga-based exercises, it's more of like an exploration of what's inside rather than about the actual act, if that makes sense.
For sure.
So, yeah. All right. So, let's get to the top of our mat if you have a mat. If not, just make sure you're on something that isn't going to fall. And let's just stand here for a little while.
Let's just lie down. Let's just close our eyes. Let's just go to sleep.
I will be closing my eyes because I'm getting such screen burnout from my eyes are so tired.
Yeah, I am too. I'm done looking at my son's Seesaw school app. I'm going to move my camera around a million times so y'all can see.
That's fine.
Have the camera angle.
Well, I need to. I'm going to talk you through breath. So just focus on inhaling and exhaling for a little bit. And what that means to you. And however you're inhaling and exhaling, I would challenge you just to bring it 2 degrees slower than what you're doing now. I want you to be aware of how your breath is affecting your body. Keep that pace. Are your shoulders tensing on your inhale? Do you feel completely spent after your exhale? I would just encourage you to notice your breath because one of the first things I learned, I've been studying classical music for about 7 years maybe. And one of the first things that I learned is that breath is cyclical. Keep that pace. Breath is cyclical, so it's always moving. Whenever you're not inhaling, you're exhaling. So just if there is a gap between your inhale and your exhale, try to eliminate it. For me, that means that my cycles are just 2 clicks longer than they were, even after we adjusted to make it slower. I would also challenge you to think that even when you're inhaling, not only is your stomach inhaling to accommodate your lungs, but so is your back. So think about expanding through your back. That's something you'll hear in Alexander technique too, is that your breath and your life source, it's your spine. That's where you get all of your energy. So think of your back pulsing with energy and with life and with breath, just as much as your breath. So you can see my ribs actually expanding in my back with my inhale. I'm going to show you again. There we go. And keeping in mind cyclical breath and breathing with our entire instrument, our entire body. On our next inhale, we're bringing our arms up. Let your fingers in the sky. And on your exhale, we're going to squat back down over. Inhale as well, halfway flat. And exhale. Again, making sure that even when you're moving, there's no gap. Inhale. Which when you inhale, you exhale. Inhale. And exhale, and we're going to plant our hands in the ground, and we're either going to step or we're going to hop our feet back into a plank.
Turn around.
What?
I have to turn around.
Oh no!
On the end of my mat.
And we're going to hold this plank for a little while because we love planks. So for this, I'm making sure that my feet aren't skewing out, that my feet, my ankles, and my legs are all in a line. And that line goes up my spine, my life source, and up through the crown of my head. Because you can inhale and exhale even in hard positions. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to come down into a push-up, into upward dog. Notice that my shoulders aren't doing this. I'm extending up, nice and strong in the back. Inhale. And exhale, we're proceeding back to downward dog. So for downward dog, you can't really see because of my hands, but my knees are only ever so slightly bent so that I'm not walking. Go ahead and walk your feet. Something else with downward dog is that, again, I'm not collapsing inside of my feet. If you can see that, I'm spreading the weight evenly between all my toes, all my fingers. This is also going to protect you from getting too much on your wrists. On your next inhale, float one leg up, doesn't matter which one. And exhale, we're gonna put that, we're gonna swing that foot between our hips. Inhale, and everything is gonna come up from our upper body up. So inhale, keeping everything on the base nice and strong, our legs nice and strong. Inhale. I'm also not overextending like this. I keep a nice strong core and stay. Inhale. And exhale. I'm pivoting on my back foot as I pivot with my hips and my upper body into warrior two. You'll also notice that I'm not overextending my knee. It's not any more than my feet. I'm also keeping my core braced so that I'm not sticking my butt out. You'll see it when I'm on the other side. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, plant your elbow on your leg and bring the other arm up. And exhale, swing back and reverse. My legs can stay in the same place as they were when I first got into that warrior two. I'm also not doing this. I'm doing this. Inhale and exhale back up into warrior two. On your next exhale, you're going to take this back arm and you're also going to move your back foot back, swing back into that warrior one. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We'll bring our hands back down to the ground. Our foot back in position and foot back in center. You can walk your feet a little bit more. And we're going to do that. Exhale. And exhale. In and pivot to warrior two. Again, if your butt is doing this, that's not good. I was going to come up with something more clever to say, but I couldn't think of it. Inhale. Exhale, reach and bring forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, just reverse. And exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, swing your back arm around. Inhale. Exhale, put your hands down. Put your foot back. And we're going back to center now. Is there any more stretch you want to do, Johnson, before we diagnose our posture and everything? Next.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. Your screen is there, but your voice is choppy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you are.
I was asking if okay, hello. I was asking if there's anything else you'd want to do before we quickly just like assess our posture.
Nope.
Great. Well then, let's just come to a seated position first for you. And let's work our way up our spine. So just think about where your sit bones are on the ground, whether they're rooted in the earth or whether you're giving more weight to one than the other. Notice. As you work your way a little bit up your spine, I'm focusing on the small of my back. I have quite a arch, so I'm asking myself, am I bracing my core and protecting my lower back? While I'm working my way up, a little bit in my spine to get a diagnosis for longer. So I was in my lower back, and now I'm here. This is where I feel my back start to expand with my breath. So there's something on my back here. Trying to feel my back just as much as I can. Feel that same way up in the middle of my upper back. And then with my upper back, one of the questions I personally a lot of my shoulders. So what are your shoulders doing, especially on your inhale? Just being mindful about your breath and tap them in any way. And now I'm at the base of my neck. Is my neck aligned? Is my head, is my mind, is everything that's up here connected all the way down to what's going on down here? Once you've assessed that, just sit and breathe for a little while. Just another second. And let's take one last inhale together. And exhale. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. If you want to join us for life coaching, again, please go to the link that is in the comments. We'll see you in 10 minutes over Zoom. And then if anyone wants to come to our state of the art tonight, then this is the link for that. So please join us. We're so excited to spend the rest of the day with you. And yeah, see you soon.
Bye, everybody. See you tonight.